it gets worse than that, but we'll talk about that later. Today I'm showing you how to make this mini junk journal postcard booklet with a secret. It's a layered letter for your friend that I think you are just gonna love. Here we go, y'all. Well, hello and welcome to Pink Paper Peppermints. My name is Melissa and I am so glad you're here today. We are doing a really fun mini junk journal postcard letter book and I can't wait to show it to you. Right now I'm flipping through all the different postcards that come with this set. They are vintage friends and they're little booklets. They have postcards on the back, but of course you could cut them apart as well. And they come with pretty handwritten letter paper to go on the inside. So I'm going to be using these journal cards. They have text on one and blank on the other. And when I saw this little hello friend, I thought it would be such a cute little ribbon to put on the inside of my book. So I'm just going to cut it into a ribbon shape. So I'm cutting a square, I'm folding it gently in half, and then I'm just going to cut a V-shaped notch in it, being careful of the little rose. I don't want to cut that off. And I've got a little banner shape. And then when I saw the leftover part of the card, I thought that would make a great little pocket. So I'm going to use that as a mini pocket to put goodies in for my friend. And I am using a circle punch to kind of cut a little thumb notch in it there. And then I was going to use this journal card the same way, but then I thought it might be cute to do a little triangle pocket. So I decided to cut it diagonally there and make it into a little pocket. And I've got these quote cards from the kit. I'm going to stick those in the pocket as a little gift. And these are the micro mini flashcards, and they have all to do with friendship words. So I'm putting that in the pocket as well. And then I'm taking this cute slide frame paper and I just cut 8 slides out of it to make the mini book cover. So I've got this old book block that I want to use for the pages. So I'm just going to tear a couple pages out of this and cut them to size. And these are going to be the pages for my little mini book letter junk journal that's going to go in the center of this postcard. But before I sew it in, I wanted to gesso the pages and kind of knock some of that text back so that I have place to write. I want to write my letter in this, and I'm also going to decorate the pages. So I'm going to just dry that up real quick and fold it and put it in my cover. And I was looking at this and I saw this other half of this card that we cut, and I thought that would make such a cute pocket on the inside of my cover. So I cut the top off of that, and that's going to be a pocket. Now I liked this butterfly for the front and I wanted to sew it on, so I thought I would sew it on and then I could cover up the stitches with my little slash pocket that I came up with. And to decorate the pocket, I cut another one of those slide frame squares from that paper and just laid it up with a vintage leaf and some word art and sewed that on as well. And then I have this pretty little quote card that I'm putting in the pocket there. So I've got my pages all ready, and the first thing that I want to do is show you this really quick, fun pop-up mechanism that we can put in the center. So easy. We're going to take 2 strips that are roughly the same width and length, and we're going to just fold them. Now you can get all scoreboardy and measury if you want to, but what I do is I just fold the first one the size that I want it, and then I keep folding until they all match. And there should be 5 little sections the same size, and then you're going to glue the 5th section and the 1st section together to create a little square. So we've got 2 little pieces of paper in squares here. Then once you get your 2 little squares, you're going to glue those 2 squares together. Once you get those squares glued together, you're going to kind of form almost like a little heart shape. It's going to kind of bend up like a heart. And the point of that heart is what needs to go in the crease of your book. And you can do this in any size. So you could do this in a large book with bigger paper. And then you're just going to glue that down to your pages. And you just want to make sure that the point of our little heart shape goes right into the crease of your pages. And then just press that down and let it dry. And then you'll see this is how it's going to look before you fold it, and it's going to fold right in and then pop right up. And then you can put anything on the top that you want to pop up, like a butterfly or a bird, or in this case I'm going to use this little doily with a quote on it. Whatever you decide for your pop-up, you just want to fold it in half so that the crease is in the center and matches the crease in your book page and sort of the middle of your little pop-up mechanism. And so we're just going to glue this down, first one side and then the other. and you just want to let that dry for a minute, and then you can fold it up. And you can see I kind of have some sticking out at the top, so I just should have moved that down a little bit. So just be aware of your placement if you don't want it to stick out the top and the bottom. But there we have our pretty little pop-up. Now there's going to be some issues, and you may have already seen the issue with this. But I just saw it and realized after I quit filming that I had glued the pop-up in before I sewed the book together, which obviously is not going to work. And it gets worse than that, but we'll talk about that later. So I need to sew the pages together. I just removed it. It was still damp enough that I could just remove it. And so I'm clipping the pages together, and it's really easy to sew a book like this because it's so small. I've just got a needle piercing tool, but you could even use a hole punch to punch the holes. And then I decided to glue the pop-up back in. I don't know why, because I haven't sewn the book yet still. And I will let you hear my reaction when I realized this at the end of the video. But yeah, I was not too happy with myself, so I pulled it off again, and now I'm going to sew the book with some seam binding. So I'm just telling you here that if you want your ribbon to be on the inside, you want to start on the inside, and if you want your ribbon to be on the outside, you want to start on the outside. When I say ribbon, I mean the bow where you tie it. So I want my bow to be on the outside, so I'm going to start on the outside hole, and I'm just going to poke it through and leave a tail. You want to leave as long a tail as you want to tie your bow. And then you want to pull it really, really tight, because we are once again going to put the pop-up mechanism in there over that ribbon. So I've got it all together now, and I think I'm finally ready to put the pop-up in there and have it be in there for good. So I'm going to put that in and let that dry. So then I decided I wanted to put a little sentiment on the outside. So I've just stacked it up with some ephemera and some ribbon, and I wanted to sew it. So I took it to the sewing machine and sewed it, and then glued it down so those stitches wouldn't go through to the other side. And now I want to decorate my pages a little bit. And I've used this little teacup and doily. I just wrapped the doily around the bottom of the page. And I've got a China marker here, and I just want to write the word friend as if it was steam coming out of the teacup. And then I'm taking a wet paintbrush and going over it. I really love how China markers do this. They kind of bleed and almost look like watercolor. I wanted it to look like steam. It was a little darker than I wanted, but I still like it. So then I splattered some gesso on the pages, and I left 2 pages blank, and then I've got my pop-up and then another 2 pages so that I can write a letter to my friend. And then I added a little typewriter and some more gesso splatters on the back and a little quote about friendship and one more butterfly on the back. So I found this little clip from another video, which I will link in the description if you haven't seen that video where I made this clip, and I thought it would be the perfect closure for this. So I have one more thing to show you, but before I do, if you're playing the Bonanza game, I wanted to give you your clue, and this is your final clue. So if you haven't been playing along, you can go to my shop and get this card for free, and all the instructions are on there. And once you figure out that phrase is going to be the clue for a very cute free kit in my shop. So I will link that kit in the description below. And so you'll just go to that link, put the phrase that you figured out on your Bonanza card in as the coupon code when it asks you if you have a coupon code, and then you will get that kit for free. And I will leave that Bonanza card in the game up until May 4th. You have until May 4th to redeem the prize, and then after that it will go away. So if you haven't watched any other of our videos in the video hop, these are all the videos. They will be linked in the description below. So many cute ideas, so you definitely want to go back and look at those videos. And then I wanted to show you one more thing, like I promised. I made another one of the little books, kind of like what we just made, only I left it blank because I'm going to use it to journal in and maybe add some photos. But what I did was, you can see here's my little book, and what I did was I glued the back to the page, so it created a little pocket, and then I wrapped the other part, which I guess is the other back, to the other page and glued it around to make another little pocket. And so now I've got this little book, and my ribbon pokes out the side, and it's so cute. I love it so much. So that's another great idea for those postcards. Well, thank you so much for joining us for the grand opening and the video hop. It's been so much fun. I hope that you have a week filled with peace and grace, and I will see you next time here on Pink Paper Peppermints. No, did I just do that? Oh, I just did that.